Time to face destiny!
Time to face gravity!
Okay, question. Are you getting tired of seeing the same Hollywood blockbuster ideas being recycled over and over again? Are you desperate to find a movie or filmmaker that can offer you something different? Perhaps a tad more unique? Well then, let's talk about this guy, Mr. Luca Guadagnino.
So do you feel like you have a specific voice? Or does you feel like it varies from film to film?
Did you ever watch a movie that evoked all 5 of your senses? No, I'm not talking about 4D cinema or snacking on popcorn during a movie. I'm talking about a movie that you can not only hear and see, but also, in some strange, inexplicable way, smell, taste, and touch. I'm talking figuratively here, not literally. In advertising, there's something called sensory branding. The concept is simple. You use 2 or more senses to arouse the consumer's interest. In other words, you use the senses to connect with the consumer on an emotional level, which will in turn make him or her want to buy your product. You can find examples of that in, well, everything.
From Wendy's.
Wendy's?
But most notably, in beauty products, perfumes, food and drinks.
You can sink your teeth into the smurfiest Happy Meal ever.
And of course, fashion. Anyways, getting back to Luca Guadagnino. His films have a similar approach, but it would be insulting to call his work commercial or even to suggest that he's trying to sell you a product. No, the only thing he's trying to sell is the experience, specifically the authenticity of the experience. And he does so by utilizing all 5 senses. I don't know if this makes sense or not, but bear with me, please. If you haven't heard, Luca is an Italian filmmaker who's getting a lot of attention for his latest work, Call Me By Your Name. It's about time he gains more recognition because he truly is a master at his craft. Yes, his latest work might be his most popular one to date, but to neglect his previous work would be to neglect his knowledge and mastery of the art of filmmaking. They all utilize his distinctive style and even share similar themes like desire and beauty. Plus, they all take place in beautiful European settings. Are you sold yet? No? Well, let's continue. I saw some critics refer to his movies as postcards. Yes, postcards. Like pictures you'd see from travel brochures. I find that to be insulting to him and his crew.
I hope they will understand how important is to recognize the other in its otherness, how important is to talk to people, how important is to embrace the difference.
Yes, his movies capture the essence of European cities and countrysides beautifully, but he does so not only with visuals. Look at the way he uses all 5 senses to present his surroundings. The way they look, sound, smell, taste, and feel. Again, this must sound so pretentious, but come on. Look at the way he presents it all. You can't help but feel like you're there with the characters, savoring meals with friends and family, sipping on expensive wine. Listening to the sounds of crickets on a warm summer evening. Feeling the midday sun hit your sunscreened shoulders. The bicycle rides through rural pathways surrounded by fields and trees and rivers and the scorching sun. It's really hard to explain how Lucasfilms have the ability to fully immerse the audience, but needless to say, it works. Whenever you leave a theater after watching one of his movies, you'll feel like you came back from a summer holiday. That is how immersive his movies are. And going back to the aesthetics of his films, if you were wondering why all his movies possess a certain sensibility for fashion, well, it's because he's worked with fashion houses like Fendi, Giorgio Armani, and Ferragamo in the past. And he's admitted to being someone who loves fashion. I think that might explain in part why his movies look and feel so authentic. There's a tremendous amount of meticulous work that goes into fashion, and this attention to detail might be the reason why his movies are the way they are. It's the little details here and there that sell the idea that you're watching a movie taking place in the south of France or in the Italian countryside. What I love about Lucasfilms is that they look so different to what we usually see in movies nowadays. Most blockbusters are shot and colored the same way, with a high contrast, sharp image overlaid by an orange and teal grade. His films, however, are softer. The colors are not as bold. I like to think of his movies as pastel drawings. I know that's a weird thing to say, but it really looks like it. There's a certain sense of nostalgia in the way they look. It makes me think of earlier European movies from the 60s and the 70s. He's admitted that he was inspired by master filmmakers Bernardo Bertolucci and Roberto Rossellini and the movies of the 60s and the 70s. Though, to be clear, he does not want to replicate what they did.
I would like to say that I am eclectic, and I would like to be eclectic, and I admire, for instance, as many of us admire, the career of Mr. Kubrick. But why I admire it is because he touched every genre with a great personal point of view.
With all the buzz surrounding his latest film, I'm glad he's being recognized for his work, because he really deserves it. In a time when Hollywood is recycling the same ideas over and over again, it's truly refreshing to find filmmakers who want to offer something unique, artistic, and more personal. I'm hoping through the recognition of Luca Guadagnino's film, Hollywood can take notice of the ever-growing talent and creativity that is coming out of Europe. My advice to you, the viewer, is to keep an eye on this guy. We'll undoubtedly see more of him in the coming years. My name is Mike, and this is Impactful Pictures.